Welcome to the Centbee Show. I'm your host, Lorien, Gamaroff, and we're joined by my co-host today, Ntshingila. How are you doing, KG?
Oh, good in you, Mr. G.
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm glad. I mean, this is number 4 now, episode 4, and this is a month.
The fourth drop.
We've done now a full month of getting down
Yeah.
to business, talking about Centbee and what we've got, what we're offering to the world, and our vision. And also trying to talk generally about other Bitcoin topics. I think that one of the things about the last decade and more of crypto is that it became about crypto. So I'm glad that today we're going to talk a little bit more about, I'm wearing the Bitcoin SV shirt here.
Yeah.
So just if you're not aware, there are different versions of Bitcoin and different cryptos out there. We support the protocol that is the one that the inventor created, which was the original Bitcoin protocol from the white paper.
Yeah,
We're going to
the
talk about that,
original.
I guess, today.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that's why I'm glad we're going to touch on that subject and others today. So it's nice to be here. Thanks, Cage.
Yeah, def, Mr. G. Yeah, welcome, guys. Our fourth drop, like we said, it's going to be a jam-packed show, more like a honey-packed show. Because, we're going to be unpacking on one of our important features, and that is ChatPay. So, Mr. G, there's a lot of apps out there that cover the social aspect of people's lives, chatting and stuff, videos, images. But what I would like to understand is what is this thing called social payments that we push out there?
Yeah, this has definitely been one of our hashtags that we're putting out there, and also the whole idea of Centbee and social, connecting money with social network ideas. Having friends and sharing with friends and communicating with friends.
Yeah.
So that was always part of the vision of Centbee, which of course we're going to explore now, and the fact that when you want something to be successful and to reach a lot of people. What I look at in the world today, and being fortunate enough to have been a university student in the 90s and 95, 96, 97, being at university, studying a computer science degree.
Jeez.
And at that stage, Rhodes University, which is where I was at in Grahamstown in South Africa, they had a computer science department there that was connected to networks. And I won't get into that whole long story, but basically watched how the internet unfolded and how all these great companies that we see today, especially these social networking companies, how they grew to become so huge was that effectively they connected people. Even successful marketplaces have people who chat in the comments and so on. So this idea of wanting to spread something far and wide by following that social network idea of trying to connect people to each other, then we could maybe leverage that familiar thing that people have, which is to reach out and connect to each other and send each other like movies or pictures or chats or anything. And then combine that extra thing, which is the other way that you can touch somebody's life without sending them pictures or anything, and that's sending them money. So social was always definitely part of Centbee's plan to reach a wide enough number of people out there who could benefit from the low-cost digital cash payment network that is the Bitcoin network. So absolutely, Centbee, the idea was, in fact, right in the beginning, remember, one of the first things we had in Centbee was it went through your phone book and found other people on Centbee and connected you in the send screen. Immediately. So that was always the vision. Let's see if we can make a product that reaches a large number of people and can use and leverage the familiar things that have made other great social network companies and technology companies great, that social aspect.
Oh, that's cool, man. Cool. So, Mr. G, with that being said, I'd like to understand, what unique features does ChatPay bring to the table for Centbee wallet users?
Yeah, so I think when people hear about Centbee ChatPay, chat to your friends, I think what they think of is other apps out there that are trying the same sort of thing, where you do get apps that send messages about who's paying whom. Like if you think about Venmo in America.
USA,
They have a kind of chat, sort of, not chat, but a kind of messaging system in there. And the way I understand it is that you can publicly broadcast somebody paying something with a little note, little fun, little emoji or something. So there are other apps out there that do try and send and attach memos or a note when you're sending a payment.
I think Venmo is more of a notice board, like a note posting app.
Yes.
It's not even chatting.
Or if you think about any kind of normal payment, I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do when you pay somebody through an EFT?
Reference.
You put a reference, which is
Yeah.
for invoice this, or
Yeah.
for the job that you did fix the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
So you always want to send a note, and so that concept of sending a message with money, as everyone understands that, and it's not that compelling.
Yeah.
It exists in most conventional bank apps as well.
Yeah.
So how is it different? Well, because we're not thinking first about the payment and then the communication.
Yes.
We think about the communication and then the payment. So when I want to reach out to you, when I want to pay you, generally I will send you a message, say, hey, KG, I want to send you that money I owe you. Can you just confirm your bank information? How much was it?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much. And please so tell so-and-so also that blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's how we think about the whole thing. That's our take, is that ChatPay is about communicating.
Yeah.
It's about talking and discussing the information around the financial transaction. Who's it for? How much is it?
The
So
social element.
there's a whole social component to
Yeah.
making a payment, and then finally the deal is consummated, or the payment is settled.
Yeah.
Sent. Thanks. You might send an emoji.
Yeah.
So we are doing it that way. We are thinking as that this is a chat app. This is a chat app in the same way WhatsApp or Telegram or Signal.
Yeah.
Any of those are about communicating and sending photos and pictures and memes and so on.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now, at the same thing, you can attach money as well.
Yeah.
So this is obviously going to come to other apps if they ever wake up and think about it, and if they discover, using real Bitcoin with low-cost payments,
Yeah.
then it'll come everywhere. So it's not like we have this special ingredient and that cannot be copied.
Yeah.
But we're going to jump on that bandwagon,
Yeah.
and of course have that first mover advantage. And if there are any other viewers out there who are listening and want to create a chat app wallet, well, that's good for us too, because it means that we have to compete, and we like tough challenges, right?
Definitely.
So that's the whole story, is that you can now go and communicate with your friends, send them money and chat around it. So that's the difference from other traditional ways of sending money with information.
Oh, that's cool, man. Thanks for that, Mr. G. So I'd like to also tap into understanding what really actually inspired the idea, like behind ChatPay.
Well, I guess that's what it was. When I looked at the social networks, and in the mid-2000s, I was working on, when Facebook and these other platforms started opening up their APIs,
Yeah.
I started working on little widgets and games and other kinds of apps that could be built onto those platforms. In fact, this is interesting. Before Facebook had chat, what I did was I created a little app called FizzBoost, which you could probably Google.
Oh, yeah?
And it got quite a few users in those days. But what it did was it connected to the Jabber protocol and connected to your Facebook ID. So you could then, there were connections that could be created with your Facebook contacts. And then if all your friends installed FizzBoost on Facebook, you could send them messages, and as though it were going through Facebook.
And this was before Facebook had like
Chat, yes.
Yeah.
But then they brought it in, of course.
Yeah.
But then I'd moved on to other things.
That's cool.
So that's it. Looking at the world, seeing how it's growing, seeing how successful these social network apps are that grow to great scale, and that's what I want to do. Is I want to give Bitcoin payments to the world, not just a niche local market or something like that.
Yeah. Ah, cool, man. Cool. So yeah, Mr. G, can you explain to us like how does the ChatPay feature work on the Centbee wallet?
Yeah, so the first thing that will happen when you open up Centbee after it's synced your wallet, synchronize your wallet, then you'll see two big buttons at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And one is receive and one is send. Now, if you tap the send option, you will then go to the contact list.
Yeah.
And it will prompt you to allow access to your contacts, because then what we do is we check to see if those contacts are on Centbee, and if they are, then what will happen is you'll see those contacts start appearing in your contact list.
Okay.
And you'll see a friend that would be there with their Centbee handle and their avatar if they've set one. And so then you tap on the contact, and immediately you'll go into what looks like another chat app, like Telegram or WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And you can then say, hello, how are you? And there is a little button there, a little money button. And when you tap the money button, you'll be able to enter a Bitcoin amount or a local currency amount, and then a message, as I said, and then you can hit send. But you don't have to only send them money. You can also just send them chats. So you can say, hey, hi, how are you? Send an emoji.
Okay.
Where's that money you owe me?
Yeah.
And so on. So that's as easy as it is to do on Centbee.
Cool. That sounds easy. Guys, remember to download the Centbee app on the app stores. Remember to subscribe, comment, hit us up. Well, thanks for that, Mr. G. So, yeah, we would like to know, like, what security measures does ChatPay have in place, like, to ensure safe transactions?
Yeah, so this is another cool thing about using Bitcoin SV as a payment network, is that you have the security being managed by the infrastructure itself, the mining network. Very interesting mechanism to make sure that the Bitcoin network stays honest and safe. Where through proof of work, you have to have large mining operations that have large amounts of capital invested, where the stakeholders are very interested in making money and not losing it by being dishonest. That's a very interesting topic. We can one day talk about the actual mining aspect of it. But Bitcoin itself, that's the beauty of Bitcoin, is this decentralized security system that, to the nature of proof of work, is very difficult to compromise. And also the honesty of the actors in the game, wanting to keep the money, not be arrested by the sheriff and have their stuff confiscated, their data center. So that's the payment security. But then, of course, Centbee is what we call and what's called a non-custodial wallet. And really, that's just a way of saying that we don't keep your private information. You have the keys, so to speak, of your wallet. You, with your backup phrase and your PIN, whenever you set up a Centbee wallet, very importantly, you must make sure you write down your 12-word and phrase, and we should always mention that. Back up your phrase.
Back up your phrase, guys. Keep it safe somewhere with your 4-digit PIN.
And your 4-digit PIN, of course. So that information being kept on the device means that it's very difficult to compromise somebody's wallet. For a hacker to steal your money, he would have to get onto the phone, unlock it with whatever the lock,
the screen lock,
screen lock,
PIN,
and then stick it into a computer and try and dump all the innards of all the information that is on the phone. So that is what keeps the Centbee wallet safer than what is called a centralized securities depository or a bank or something, where we're not a company holding your keys, and if we got hacked, nobody would lose anything. All that could happen is that our systems would stop, and we'd have to boot them all up again. But if people felt that they wouldn't want the company to something to happen and then not have access to their coins because they keep their 12 words and their backup phrase safe, the backup phrase and the PIN, then by using standard coin mechanisms on other platforms with other software, you can recover your coins as well. So that's what makes Centbee very secure. The only thing is, of course, that you have to then worry about your backup phrase and your PIN. And if you lose that, we don't have it. So you're not going to be able to get your money back. So with great power comes great responsibility.
Definitely,
I guess we should have that as a phrase we use on the show all the time. So that's really the power of Bitcoin is, and the idea of keeping your keys really keeps Centbee safe as it gets.
Cool. You heard that, guys. Centbee is safe, it's trustworthy. So I'd suggest you guys check it out, download it on the app stores, Remember to comment, subscribe, show some love. Again, Mr. G, I mean, with all being said, I mean, ChatPay sounds cool, but I'm sure users would want to know if there's any, like, future features that are coming. Like, are they maybe something that we should look out for?
Yes, of course. Now, if we want to compete with other chat apps out there, and if we want to make people want to come to Centbee because they do want to have that communication and not just payment, then we have to try and make Centbee ChatPay as cool as any of those other chat apps, and there are very cool ones out there. I use Telegram, and they update that app just about every day with new features and so on. So this is something we want to try and do. We want to make Centbee ChatPay work and feel just like your favorite other chat apps, and we want to lure you away. So one day you don't even send people money on Centbee. You can also just send them pictures. You can have groups, and it can work just like all your other favorite chat apps out there. So this is certainly a product feature that we want to keep expanding and growing and really just see how far we can go with it.
That's cool. That's something to look forward to, man. That's pretty awesome. Cool. Thanks for that, Mr. G. I've been using ChatPay myself, and honestly, I find it very convenient and super easy to use. I chat with my brother on it because I'm not much of a social person in terms of chatting, but I find ChatPay super easy to use and convenient. Remember, guys, download the Centbee wallet on the app stores, subscribe, comment, show some love, yeah? Yeah, thanks for that, Mr. G. Yeah, that was this week's unpack on our ChatPay feature. We're going to be jumping straight into just our general insight on the industry. On last week's episode, Mr. G, we touched base that we made it clear that Bitcoin is not a replacement for the banking system, but we need to be clear on what it is. So I'm going to read the title of the white paper, what it says, so that we sort of clear it out. So the white paper states that Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. What does that mean?
Yes, and it really is wrapped up in that title. And Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system.
Yes.
So that lays out what it is. Of course, we'll talk more about that. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But that was the title of the white paper. So the first part of it might be a little bit unfamiliar to you if you haven't heard the phrase before. But peer-to-peer. Peer is, you and I are peers. We're sitting together in the same room, and we're connected in time and space, and we work together. So we're here and part of this world together.
Yeah.
So when I want to communicate with you, I don't go to somebody else and say, please send KG a message.
Yeah.
I go straight to you. So it's from me as a peer of yours, and you're a peer of mine.
Yeah.
We come together and we have a communication. I send you some information, or I can give you a pot plant.
It's direct.
I give you something direct. I don't have to give it to anybody else to give it to you later, or no matter how long that takes.
Yeah.
That's what makes something peer to peer. It's person to person. That's the simplest way of thinking about it in terms of us humans. So that's the first part of it.
Yeah.
From human to human, or person to person. Electronic cash. Now, electronic cash, well, we know what cash is. That's money, or these notes and coins that we use to pay people, currency. And so if I think about electronic cash, that's easy because we use credit cards and bank EFTs and payment apps all the time. So a lot of our money is already electronic or digital.
Yeah.
I guess that would be the word we use today, is digital.
Cash. Yeah.
It's digital cash.
Yeah.
So put it together, a person-to-person digital cash. In other words, I can send you money in a digital way, but it doesn't go through a company, or there's something in the middle.
A third party.
That's now handing over you're handing the responsibility over to you and back to you.
Yeah.
So now that's very interesting because when we look at digital things today, if we were wanting to look at our phone and see if we got messages, or we want to watch a video or something, and we're not connected to the internet, then there's no digital anything.
Yeah.
You got your phone, and it's now effectively a brick until when the battery runs out.
Yeah.
So the idea of digital communication between me and you that's different. Normally when I do something digital, I have to be connected.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we have other ways of sending files and stuff to each other, things like Bluetooth and infrared and so on. But that's really just the communication channel.
Yes.
At the moment, if I want to make a payment to you, I can't, when you're disconnected from the internet, and come to your phone and connect via Bluetooth or whatever it is to you and say, here, I'm going to send you some money from my bank. You're going to say, that's not coming from your bank, that's coming from your phone. You need to be connected online so you can send the instruction to the bank, and the bank can then send the money into your account. Yeah. So digital payments, digital cash has always been tied to the fact that you need to be connected to the internet at all times. And if you're out somewhere where there's no connectivity, and you try and send somebody a message, especially a payment message, because obviously it's just a chat message, that's simple. But sending money, you can't just do that in an offline way. Yeah. But yet when you are peer to peer, it means I haven't needed to connect to the network, the internet, to then connect to you. I can do that. I can, over Bluetooth or a direct IP connection, can send you information and send you money. Yeah. That is a very unique and interesting idea. That's been something that even today, and I've been involved in many financial seminars and workshops at high-level banks and NGOs, where the goals for sort of humanitarian goals or social goals is providing things like payments to people who aren't always connected online and don't have the luxury of being able to immediately have a connection where they can make digital cash payments.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want digital cash because it's so efficient and it's so easy and it's so quick. Lugging around cash, especially in countries where cash isn't worth much, you have to lug suitcases of it.
Suitcases, yeah.
So, but besides that, digital cash is an interesting thing that we want to try and achieve. So, but doing it on an offline way, that's been difficult, if almost impossible, until Bitcoin came out and said, well, guess what? I now have a peer-to-peer digital cash system where you don't have to be connected to the network. So that really was a very interesting claim. And that's why a lot of people thought, well, this is interesting. Let's see if it can work. And a lot of people said it wouldn't work because it had never been achieved before. And if Bitcoin claims to be a way of making digital cash payments in a peer-to-peer way, then that's a very interesting and exciting thing. But what it doesn't claim to be is a banking system, as we discussed in the last episode. So if you haven't watched that episode, go to episode 3.
Check it out, guys. Remember to download also the Centbee app, subscribe, comment, show some love.
Yeah, so that's the idea, a digital cash system that can be peer-to-peer, not a banking system.
Yeah. Now that's cool because like that being unfolded, it clearly shows how Bitcoin as a digital cash system solution like fits in place, because us being here in Africa, like we've mentioned before, sending payments is a problem for people. So this is how Bitcoin sort of like fits perfectly into the use cases of people around here, So I see it.
So in the terms of payments, absolutely. And we've seen successful payment companies in Africa like the M-Pesa app. People are sending digital payments to each other. And so, of course, that is a very important thing. And we're excited about bringing those capabilities to the continent and others as well. But, of course, what gives Bitcoin the power is that it is a global payment system. And so that makes it easy for entrepreneurs who maybe have access to a laptop, let's say, and they have access to the internet. They can then become a remote developer or a remote worker and be able to earn an income using Bitcoin for global payments. But also, very importantly, where people now want to make micropayments. They don't want to spend $100 in a transaction. They want to send 1 cent. We've seen how a lot of our users are buying mobile recharge data, and in Nigeria, you can basically spend 1 or 2 US cents on mobile data. So those are the kinds of payments that the majority of the people want to make. They don't want to buy an online thing or an expensive item. They just want to make a little cash payment, a little local and a little remote cash payment. So the idea of having a digital payment system that you don't need to be connected permanently online, where I can, with my cell phone, and you're an informal trader, and I buy something of low value, 10 US cents worth, 20 US cents, I can now send you a payment. And using the Bitcoin protocol means that when I eventually do have access to connectivity, let's say I'm in a place where there's a connection I can reach, then what will happen is my wallet will sync with the blockchain, just a small little amount of information that will then verify those payments and make sure that they get settled onto the blockchain and are permanent. So the peer-to-peer way that was described in Bitcoin, the white paper, really is a killer app on its own. Because, of course, a blockchain has a lot of other capabilities because of its traceable nature and its transparent nature. But this low-cost cash nature of Bitcoin is really what got me excited. I guess maybe because when I first got involved with Bitcoin towards the end of 2010, that was the conversation. It was about cash, low-cost cash, digital cash for people who live on under $2 a day. And so digital cash is valuable and useful in its own, but this peer-to-peer payment system, that is what makes Bitcoin so exceptional. And of course, it's not a system that is controlled by shadowy figures that you don't know the location of or the identity of. Because of proof of work on the Bitcoin protocol, the Bitcoin system, it means that the mining operations out there are forced to invest large amounts of money in their infrastructure. So they put money at risk. They then have to become visible to law enforcement, because you can't just have a giant warehouse with consuming megawatts and with trucks going in and out all the time. The regulators are going to spot you, so you're going to need to be compliant. You're going to need to have all sorts of audited financials and so on, because you're now a large operator consuming electricity. And so those mining operators are incentivized to not risk their money. And in the white paper, as you said, you brought up the white paper, and it's very worth reading if you want to go for it. It's not very long, a few pages, 7 or 8 or 9 pages. But the idea that the network is incentivized through these miners through honesty, that's one of the most important words that is used in the Bitcoin white paper, is that it's not about technology. It's not about this technological system that now that it's been birthed, it's like Skynet and it's going to be uncontrollable and unstoppable. Those are the words that a lot of these crypto influencers use: unstoppable, unconfiscatable, ungovernable, permissionless, blah, blah, blah. So this is a network that is operated by regulated entities who are incentivized to make money, and they can do that. The only way they do that is through honesty. And sustaining a digital cash network. So that's really why for the last more than 10 years, this has been the vision, is to make digital cash payments accessible and not get swept along this whole thing about making money, investing in these coins, flipping these tokens.
The big lie.
All this pumping and dumping, all this excitement. You know, at least I can understand NFTs being something that you think you own, this little image or whatever it is. There you feel like you're getting something. But at the end of the day, all these tokens that people invest in, what is it all for? It's all just mania and gambling, essentially. And who's going to be the last fool holding the bag? So really, digital cash, that title is enough for me. If I can create a system, and together we can build a whole system where people can leverage this idea of digital cash payments, then I think we'll have done a good job.
Cool. Yeah, man, that's actually like quite an extensive unpack of the blockchain, like BSV blockchain. So I'm glad that we frequently touch on that, because it's quite important for our users just to understand the industry that we are in. And we also clarify, the dark clouds that they've been covering the blockchain. So we are just here just to educate people and, expand more on that topic. So yeah, remember to download the Centbee app, guys, on the app stores. Subscribe, comment, show some love. Yeah, Ms. G. So yeah, we're going to be jumping into our user questions and feedback for this week. I'm glad that we actually got some pretty awesome ones for this week as well, because it's important that we do get some questions and feedback from our users, just to know that we are on the right track,
Yes, absolutely. So reach out on our support channels. We're on Telegram, Centbee support, that's on Twitter. And
Instagram.
Also when you send questions, especially if you're sending questions via support or Telegram or whatever, just add your pay mail there so we can send you honey for the good questions, because we want to encourage our users to, as KG says, give us feedback. We want to know what you like, what you don't like. Of course, Centbee is an evolving app. We're trying to make it fresh and cool. And we can hint that there's a version 4 coming up soon, but we're not going to say much about that now. We can maybe make a splash about that in the next episode. So please send information. Send your pay mail, which is your name at centbee.com, and we will answer those questions and we'll reward those ones. And also, if you create content. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, definitely, Ms. G. Yeah, like Ms. G said, when you create some content on social media, hashtag us there. Just show some love, and then we're going to be rewarding you with some honey.
It's got to be good, though, not just lame
it's gotta be
shots
good.
of...
like, take some pride in it.
And a soundtrack, maybe.
We will definitely reward you with some nice honey there, So, yeah, We're going to be jumping into our question from Abdullahi Adamu from Facebook. He wants to know, is there any referral limit for each account?
Yes, so I think what he's referring to there is the referrals. When you refer a friend, if you get a friend to install Centbee, and on the home screen you'll see a little input box that says referral code, then what you will do is you give them your name at centbee.com. You can just give them the name part, and that becomes your referral link, a referral code, and then you'll both earn honey, of course. That's the incentive there, is to sign up your friends. But now, of course, I think the question is asking how many times can he refer people? Can he refer 1,000? Can he refer 1,000,000? Well, you can refer as many as you like.
There's no limit.
There's no limits. If you can get your whole town or your whole city or to sign up with Centbee, that'll be cool. Or your whole university, that's great. As long as you look at Centbee as something not that you're going to be earning money from. Obviously, we will try and keep rewarding you for actions, but really the real actions are going to be using Centbee for spending, for buying things and so on. And so get as many friends as you like. There's no referral limit. You'll earn honey and be able to see what it's like to use digital cash.
Cool. That's cool, man. Guys, you heard that. Just get referring there, hook up your squad, get some honey dripping. So we're going to be jumping into our next question from Aksadik from Telegram. So he wants to know, how do I get my Centbee private key?
Yes, so the Centbee private key would be really linked to your 12-word backup phrase and PIN. So what happens is, the way Centbee works is when you have your 12-word backup phrase and PIN, what Centbee does is it then generates all the private keys and addresses that will be part of your wallet that you can receive money on or send money from. Now, those keys are generated inside the app. And so when you lose your app or you get a new phone, or you get your phone gets reset, you can then go and take those 12 words and PIN and insert them into a Centbee in your new Centbee wallet, and then your private keys and your addresses will be regenerated again in that wallet. So there isn't a way to get all those private keys out of your wallet. We don't have an export feature. Obviously, we don't want that to be a security risk. But the 12 words and backup phrase, that is what is used to generate those private keys. And as I mentioned, I think earlier, you can use standard Bitcoin methods and software out there and methodologies to be able to generate your private keys outside of Centbee wallet if you wanted to. In fact, there are tools out there where you can do that today. So there isn't a feature that we have that you can just go and export your private keys, but they are linked to your 12-word backup phrase and your PIN. That's where your private keys are living inside. So hang on to that, and you won't ever lose them.
Remember that, guys. Store your 12-word phrase and your 4-digit PIN somewhere safe so that you can be able to recover your wallet if you lose your phone or your phone is damaged or something. Remember, back up your wallet. So thanks for that, Mr. G. We're going to be jumping into this week's feedback from our users on socials. I see Veronica was showing us some love this week. She's saying that Centbee's ChatPay revolutionizes messaging by seamlessly integrating payments, bridging conversations and transactions. This innovative approach is shaping the future of digital cash. Hashtag Centbee, hashtag ChatPay, hashtag digital cash, hashtag future payments. I mean, come on, this is awesome.
And that was on Twitter.
That's on Twitter,
So follow us at Centbee on Twitter.
Remember to link with us on Twitter, guys.
Thanks, Veronica. That was a great tweet.
We're getting some love. I see also Maribel is also sending us a tweet saying, marveling at the incredible mission championed by Gamaroff. Some love for you there, Mr. G, at Centbee. And Centbee, making digital cash universally accessible and infusing it with vibrant social network vibe. Eagerly anticipating more revelations.
Nice. Thank you.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. Maribel, thanks for the love. And guys, remember to show some love on our socials, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Telegram. Remember to link with us. Remember to also download the Centbee app on the app stores. Show some love.
All right. Well, thanks, Cage. Thanks for that episode. I enjoyed talking about all those deep Bitcoin SV subjects. It's my favorite topic.
It shows as someone who's been in this space for this long, it shows the consistency and also the importance of you educating us, in the space.
No, it's my pleasure. It's been so sad to see all this misinformation out there for so long, and so many people getting hoodwinked into this whole scam that is crypto.
Yeah.
That this was definitely something we needed to do. So I'm glad we could do it.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today to the Centbee show. Please come back soon.